YouTube, Charlie here with Max Cast Fishing. Wanted to show you all my modifications that I did to the Pelican Bass Raider 10E. Man, this has been a really fun project. I've enjoyed doing it, and I hope you all enjoy. All right, let's start at the front of the boat. So the Pelican Bass Raider 10E is sitting on a jet ski trailer made by Easy Loader. Picked this up off of Craigslist, actually Facebook Marketplace, for a pretty good deal. And so what I did is I actually modified the trailer, and I'll show you that here in a bit. But to hook it up, I just went ahead and drilled through the front transom hole, and I'll do this. And so when I get to the lake, I'll just unhook this, and I can unscrew this here and then store it right here. Store both of these here. When I get on the water. So which leads into the casting deck. When I first decided I wanted to modify this boat, I went online and looked at several other ideas and saw a lot of casting decks that went from pretty much this channel to that channel. And I said, you know what? I want a full casting deck up here, and then I want to make something that actually protects the rods so I'm not stepping on them. So this is ultimately what I came up with. It's 1/2-inch plywood. It does have bracing underneath, and then I just put some indoor-outdoor carpet on it. And all the wood that's for the decking or the flooring is treated. Up front, as you just saw, I got this latch, and you know, I can store stuff in here. I got my anchor. You know, here's where I plug in the trolling motor. This foot pedal, I actually found this from another YouTuber, Noler Swamp. He did a review on this, and I actually found it through him, so shout out to him for that. This thing right here is awesome. It makes a huge difference when you're out on the water fishing. To be able to control the trolling motor with your foot instead of your hand, so you can keep both those hands on that reel. You know, when you get that big bite, you want two hands on it. So I'll show you the setup on that here in just a moment, and how I actually set it up. All right, so I'm back, got the trolling motor on. Again, this foot pedal, I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier, but it's made by Troll King, or it's Canyon Lake Products, and it's called the Troll King. I think it's a small company outside of Oklahoma. I'll leave a link in the description below so y'all can check them out. This is an awesome product. So basically what you do is you hook this linkage rod up to the trolling motor, to this part here, and that's how it actually controls the trolling motor. Unfortunately, I can't really show that because the trailer is going to be in the way. So, but check out Noler Swamp's video. I'll link it in the description as well. He has a really good review on that. How it's hooked up is I've got this plugged in right here, and that goes back to the battery box. We'll get back there in just a moment. And then I just run this wire, connect the trolling motor wires to here and run it through here and then up. And put this on. So it's got a momentary switch that you can control with your foot pedal, or a constant on. So if you're just wanting to go quite a distance, you just turn it on and off you go. So we got a pedestal seat, just with a swivel seat, and I wanted cup holders for this boat, and ended up going with this RoboCup. And this thing right here is awesome. It just clips onto this. You know, it's one of those spring-loaded cup holders. It clips on there, and so that thing is that's a great accessory for this boat. So to the back of this casting deck, I actually have these rod holders, and it's also a net holder. And I'll tell you what, having this right here, this close to where I sit, is really nice, because after you catch a fish, you can stick your rod down in this, and you know, you can unhook your fish. And also it's nice that when you're retying, you can just put your rod there and while you're retying. So it's so that's the setup I use for that. I put the net in one side and then stick my pole in the other, and that seems to work out really well. So underneath the casting deck right here is this PVC pipe, and it's 3/4 inch PVC pipe that I ran the length of the casting deck, and then I put a 45-degree taper on the end, so that way when I'm putting the rods back, it's easier to find that hole and then stick them off in there. And then just to secure them to the boat, I got these little clips. I think I got them at Academy with some stainless steel hardware. And man, I leave these even when I'm traveling on the road. I leave these rods right here, and I've never had any issues with them coming out. Little side benefit to these rod holders being here is it actually holds my paddle right there, and then my measuring board on the other side. This seat right here I got from my dad. This seat came with his bass boat, and it was the front seat, and he uses a seat like this and wasn't using it, so he said I could use it. So yeah, that's a nice addition. And I actually offset this seat more that way for when I'm running the outboard motor. It's easier, it gives me room to put my feet right here while I'm running the outboard motor. Speaking of the motor, I'm running the Mercury 4-stroke 2.5 on here. This little motor is it's been great so far. It fires up just about every pool. You know, I did the break-in stage and everything, haven't had any issues with it. I've used it on the lake, on lakes, probably about 4 or 5 times now. Also, having this motor on here acts as a like a rudder somewhat, and helps with that that back end side movement when you're fishing without a rudder back there. So that was another added benefit of this motor. So the power center, running the MinnKota battery box. This has been real nice. It's, you know, just hook up into this and has the wires running up to the trolling motor, but it also has these two 12-volt power supplies. So, and it's got your tester to show you your level, breaker, and so what else? Oh, let's go up here and show you what I did for a tackle box. So what I went with is just a little cheap tote that I got from Walmart, and this is where I keep the tackle. That way I could free up all this area as much as possible, because when I am out on the water, I usually have a small cooler under here, sometimes another little tackle box. But this right here seems to work out real well. And when I'm not using it, just close it up, put it back underneath. And man, I just leave that right there when I'm traveling on the road too, and I've never had any issues with it coming out. Let's see, what else? Man, I think that just about covers it all. Here in a moment, I'll show y'all what I did with the trailer. Stand by. All right, let me show y'all what I did with this trailer. So up here, I made this little stop post out of 2x4s, and that little piece of rubber that's on there is actually pulled off the back end of the trailer, and it worked out perfect to fit there. And then so below, what I did was I took the rails, the existing rails, and just changed up those brackets to where I could mount those vertical in there, and that way it just lines up with on the inside of the pontoons. And then of course I just I bolted these down to the bottom of the trailer, and this actually works out really well because I can back the trailer in the water, and I back it into about where the fenders are, not to where they're still exposed out of the water just a little bit, and then I get up on here and I just slide it off. All right, let's show you the back here. You kind of get an idea of how that works. So I almost forgot. Since I did all this work, I had to update the sticker. The old one was faded and peeling off, so I went ahead and drew up a design and had a local sign shop put that together. Thought that was pretty cool. So, all right, so there you go. There are the modifications that I did to the Pelican Bass Raider 10E. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd appreciate that if you'd hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. Thanks.